All right, guys, we're starting this video off in the shop, but I'm going to show you kind of a project update of what the heck we got going on in the shop, as well as the projects at home. Give you an update on just about everything. So I think I'll start here. I know I gave some updates on this stuff, waiting on parts. All the parts for this just came in literally today, so you'll see that in future stuff like I just mentioned, but stoked we got all the parts. Let's jump over next door and get into some stuff that you guys probably don't know about yet and probably haven't seen. So we'll jump over there and see what we got. All right. If you guys are anything like me, you gotta love the mid-year Corvettes. They're definitely my favorite, best looking. And Jason's very first car he ever painted was a 67 big block 4-speed car, and we've never got to do another mid-year since. We've done 254s, a couple C3s, and only one of these, and that was 15 plus years ago. And now we got 2 of them in the shop, which I have not shown. Model A, we're still waiting on some stuff. Just figured I'd point that out. That way you guys are asking. I know a few people have asked about the Opel GT, but we can literally hardly get sheet steel in our area because it's so expensive and people are literally not even carrying it. And we have to hand make stuff on this car. So it's kind of on the back burner. Anyway, back to this. We're doing a full paint job on this car. Everything else the owner is doing. And it's a fantastic car. It's gonna be the light yellow, 327 Power Glide automatic. And this is original interior, by the way. He's got that out getting repaired and redone. Original wheel. Everything's in really good shape on this car. The body's fantastic. Very pleased. He went through and cleaned out the windshield track, got all his clips cleaned up, and got a new windshield rubber. So we're ready to install the windshield on that. But as you can tell, it's just an honest, original car. And if it wouldn't have been painted over multiple times, he probably would have left it all original. But it had a couple different paint jobs on it, so going back with the original light yellow, which you can obviously see in there. So that's kind of where we're at on this one. We've been getting it prepped for the bodywork phase, which there's not going to be a lot of it. And then it's almost ready to get primed. And then we got a pretty neat one in here. So that's a 66. I don't know if I mentioned that. I can't even remember now because I can't think straight. We have another 66 in here. So this is all in the first stage of slick sand. Got the early big block hood, which is my personal favorite. It's all ready for the sanding process now, which ought to go pretty quick, as well as both the doors. And before I say anything, drop it down in the comment section if you guys can see what has been altered on this car from this angle. I'll mention it here in just a minute, but the body had all the work done to it, and it's ready for the first stage of sanding as well. And this body was in incredible shape. I mean, you can even tell on video how nice this thing is. Very, very nice car. And this is an original black car, and we are going back black with it, but it does have a custom chassis going underneath it, which I will insert some clips of this car here.
He's not gonna get parts.
You can't, or they can't get sheet metal. Or, I'm sorry, not sheet metal, the box too.
So the other thing I'm thinking about, Dynamic Corvettes makes a spoiler like on the Camaros, first gen Camaro. It's just a little spoiler, well, maybe like this, that sits right in here. I'd have to cut out for that bumper, but my thinking is it would hide some of this.
It would hide all of it.
Yeah,
I
because you
agree.
know when you're coming down the road.
And here's the beautiful thing, what you would see would be that.
Yeah.
So that's cocky. You know what I mean? That's that you want to see.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
That's just. I put it up there when I put the fenders on, and it's not verbose, but I need a little. So this is that piece that's selling. This goes. This.
As you saw, this car is pretty freaking awesome. So now I'll jump over to what I was talking about. It's actually got 1 inch wider rear quarters to compensate for wide tires and the C7 suspension that's going underneath it with that custom chassis. And then something really neat that Jason did is being that these quarters are 1 inch wider, the bumpers didn't want to fit very well. It was real tight over here and you had a big gap back here. And then it got tight back over here because when you swell that out, the bumper can't get up there like it's supposed to. So Jason actually cut this out on both sides, pulled it all the way out, and kept a flush line between the bumper all the way around, did that on both sides. So this is like 3/8 of an inch wider at this area than it would be stock. So everything flows real nice, and there's just a nice little thin air gap like the factory had. Probably better than factory, honestly. So that's a little custom touch we had to do to get those bumpers looking right. But anyway, yeah. This thing's ready for sanding, so I'll keep you guys updated on this. And all the, since Jason's doing this one, I'll just basically throw this car and that car in shop update videos, keep you guys in the loop. So that one ought to be pretty cool. So now we're gonna kind of jump into the projects at home and get you guys updated there. Good morning, guys. We're over here getting a bunch of stuff moved around. So since We got the wiring harness for the 55. It's ready to go up to the shop here in probably a week or two, give or take. And we got some stuff moved around at Dad's, which I'll show you when we get back and unload this thing. So what we're going to do is get the front end down, get it put back on. That way it's out of the way here and it's on the car for when it's at the shop. I can make the tilt front end system, and then we can kind of be able to get the engine back in it and all that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get stuff shuffled around and get this front end on it, and probably set you up with a little time lapse, and then we'll kind of keep showing you some more project crap we got going on. So there it is outside. Super dirty and dusty, but I'm gonna get her loaded up so she's in the trailer and ready to go get wired. And boy, oh boy, that Chevy emblem can't be gone soon enough. Okay, made it back to our parents' house so we can drop the 55 off. That way it's here and ready for the shop, because the shop's like a half a mile that way. So that way we'll be ready. So figured I'd show this off. You guys might like this thing. This is the old tow pig. 1980. 454 turbo 400 410 rear gear. It's lived its whole life in Yucca Valley, California. Dad bought it off Craigslist in like 2015. Flew out to San Diego, got a rental car, went over to this guy's place, bought it just off pictures, had a radiator flush, 2 new tires, and drove it all the way back from California to Indiana with not a single issue. So pretty rust-free truck, as you can tell. I mean, underneath it's even better. Super good truck. This thing's done plenty of hauls for us and did plenty of hauling back in the day, and she still runs great. So figured I'd show that off and getting this thing all opened up so we can get it out. Got to get the straps off of it. And then he got this thing all finished up. So we're gonna put
cold start on this.
It
hasn't been started.
So we got the bumper on it this morning. So this thing's all finished up since the heater core job. So it looks good with the bumper back on it. But the 55 is gonna go in here. That way he can kind of tinker with it. And this is gonna go in the trailer just for now, since it can actually run and drive in there. All right, we're getting ready to toss it in the trailer, but we decided to park them next to each other just to show, you know, a lot of people think the Tri-5 stuff, you know, is actually big, but they're pretty small cars, really. And this is a 65, and 6s and 7s are longer than these. So if you look, we got them just about dead even up front. Spreader bar right out to about the tip of the bumper of the GTO. Look at that. These are fairly small cars. But kind of cool seeing this thing outside. Love looking at it and seeing them roll bars inside there. Looks good. We'll definitely have to maybe run some 1-inch drop blocks in the rear. Get that back end down just a little bit. All right, back in the garage. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and getting an update on everything that we're doing and everything that we're shuffling and getting ready, because probably going to be pretty busy this this spring / summer and fall. So got a lot of projects. Figured I'd show you what's going on here to end the video off, being that we got the 55 back to Dad's place to be wired and do some more work on it at the shop. Finally got this stuff back in the garage. So the next big project will be this right here. So that's my wife's 65 Bahama Blue Beetle. It does run, so it's really just a matter of going through everything and putting it all back together, making a nice little runner and driver. And then this is my black car. I got a few issues with this thing that I need to address. So I may make a video on getting this thing going, or I might just throw it, you know, in another update video. I'm not really too sure, because this car is dialed for the most part. Besides, I got to fix some wiring and a couple minor things. But for the most part, as far as Volkswagen content goes, that's what we'll be getting started on and doing a full overhaul on like the brakes. Well, engine's not an overhaul, but like, you know, as far as freshening it up, taking it out, same with the trans, all the gaskets, things like that. And we are making headway on the 455 finally for the 55 Chevy. As you can see, we've started assembling the stuff for the bottom end, getting ready to put the oil pan on. And I've already got a video started for that particular project. And as you can tell, we got all the parts over here laid out. And then once this thing's thrown together, as far as we need it, this will be going to be put in the car so I can fab up some engine mounts. So I think we got a bunch of good content coming up as far as Volkswagen stuff, the gasser, and stuff at the shop that you saw as well. So hope you guys enjoyed it. And as far as my bus goes, obviously we have projects that are far more important, and I really can't afford the rest of the parts I need for that right now. But I'm slowly chipping away at getting stuff ordered, so that'll be for the future. But anyway, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you're stoked for all these projects we got going on. I'm going to try to keep the videos all separate so nothing's just, you know, thrown in with each other unless it's an update video. Then I kind of tend to do that. But definitely Volkswagen wise, you know, I'll keep that stuff separated and it'll be its own entity. But anyway, yeah, that's an update so far. So that's where we're at. Look forward to the next video, and we'll see you then. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we're out.